guys, freaking told you we'd figure it out. Well, we freaking figured it out. Here is the 1985 CR500. We traveled about 1,000 miles to get, and she's here. And I'm super excited because obviously it runs. It runs, obviously. So we've been already playing on it a little bit. I had to do a little bit of jetting. But let's rewind to the electrical because I know that's going to be bugging some of you guys. But I got to give a huge shout out to you guys down in the comments on the video when we got this thing. Sometimes it just helps to have a friend say, hey, did you check that out? And I even mentioned it in the video. What all we needed to do was go back and clean some of the corroded grounding contacts. So the issue is it didn't have a good ground. Now, yes, the stator that it came with was bad. So was the backup stator it came with. Both were bad. The CDI was also bad. And I tested these all with, obviously with electrical tester. So after slapping on an entire ignition from a 91 in that last video, and it still didn't start when it came from a running bike, I was baffled. I couldn't even wrap my head around what was causing this. But I went back and I cleaned all those contacts with a wire brush on a drill motor, and wouldn't you know it, she just popped right over like nothing ever happened. It was flooded. Don't get me wrong, she was flooded real bad. And with this tiny little muffler, when it's loud. So let's fire it up for you guys because you got to see to believe. So not only does it run, but it actually runs pretty dang good. Doesn't quite idle yet. It's so we're up in the elevations. We're 47, almost 5,000 feet. So I did jet it a little bit, but it wasn't enough. It still is pretty smoky. I'm running a 40-to-1 mixture. So it shouldn't be as smoky as it is. It's pulling all the fuel and oil into it, which is fine because it is a brand new top end. But also let's answer another problem. So you guys remember I showed you a photo of what I thought was a crack in the cylinder? Our lucky day, it was not a crack. It was actually porosity. It was porosity that built up and made a little rust line that looked exactly like a crack. But I went in on the backside of the cylinder with a wire brush and just scrubbed at it. Cracks don't remove when you scrub them, so we're lucky. So it's got a brand new top end, and let me say something, guys. She's rough. She's got a big problem that I'm gonna have to figure out though. Some dingbat way back in the day decided it was a good idea to weld the drain plug shut. Well, so I didn't change the crankcase oil. I made sure it has it, which is a good thing. I basically cracked that bleeder next to the water pump and let it all drain out until it stopped, and then filled it with some fresh, but new coolant, new gas, new chain. So we're gonna go play on this thing because why not? It's a 500, it's super fun, and it is bouncy. It's got old suspension. The gear ratio feels like first and second are close. Third and fourth are so far apart. It's like third is like for moping around playing, and fourth is just get somewhere, go somewhere fast. So, but I'm actually truly surprised on how well this thing runs, and I'm excited. And I can't thank our buddy down south enough that hooked us up with this thing, because wow, it definitely took some work to get it to where we can ride it here today, and this is all the plastic we got for it, so we're gonna run it. So let's freaking do it. Let's fire this thing up and go play. Here comes my 12-year-old on it. He wants to race big bore addicts, so we need to get used to some 500 stuff. You can tell he's super timid on it. So let's fire this thing up. Frickin' go! That was third gear start. Hey, hooked up. I can't believe it. This stuff's kind of deep. But yeah, she hooks for having no tire. The worst muffler you can imagine. And you know, no body work, but you don't need body work. So, truth be told, this thing isn't that bad. I mean, the suspension needs a lot of work, and it needs a lot of work. It's worthy of a restoration. So here's kind of what I'm proposing to you guys. And yes, I am proposing already. I have that 2008 CR500. Hang on, that's the AF frame. I thought about taking this engine out, putting it in that for the meantime while we get this thing absolutely restored. New rims, powder coat the frame, all the plastics, just get it right. Then pull it back out of the AF, rebuild the engine, and then stick it back in this thing. You guys gotta let me know in the comments. Or should I just throw some plastic, some used eBay plastics on this thing and get it going again and like just clean and tighten up and kind of let the age speak for it? Like, I kind of want to hear from you guys. Then obviously fix things like the suspension, but the motor is tight. And what blows my mind is how quiet it is. The motor does not have a lot of external noise from it, like from the clutch. And I mean, it's hot. I've been just doing pulls and having a blast on this thing, and like, that's kind of my point though. It's like, it's such a good runner. The engine's obviously healthy, which I'm happy about. Really, really happy about. So you guys gotta let me know down in the comments what the heck I should do with this thing. Either way, I'm thinking it needs to be restored or at least rebuilt and pretty again. I'll listen to you guys down in the comments, and hopefully we'll have another bike to race at Sand Mountain 24 this April. Yeah, April 24th. You guys better be there. So, had to cut the day short. I was having just a blast on the bike, and it still, I'll say this, it still runs great. But I was trying to do some burnouts on it, and I couldn't get the front wheel planted enough. All right, guys, there's one thing left to do, and that's to do a little bit of knobby removal, so let's do it. And in just doing it over and over and over again, I ended up overheating it a little bit too much. I did find out later on that the radiator cap is really bad. The rubber seal on the bottom of the radiator cap has a tear. So we're gonna have to replace the radiator cap, but what an awesome day. My son and I, we had so much fun just playing around on that bike. It barely had front brakes. So they kind of worked. They worked enough, which is fine. My heart, like inside, like what I really want to do is I want to have a full restoration of that thing. But at the same time too, I would like use that bike to the best of what it could be used for. And if I, could put it into an AF, I might do that too. I don't know. I really can't make up my mind, and that's where I need you guys to help out with that, because I'm really just kind of caught up with what I need to do. Anyways, yes, I know today is Tuesday. I know that you're supposed to be seeing uploads from me every Monday, but we had Christmas last weekend, New Year's this one, so that's why we did not have any videos for those Mondays. So we will get back on the every Monday schedule now that we've cleared the holidays. I hope you guys survived and, with most of your pocketbooks intact, because I know I barely did. So, but it's good, right? I need to figure out what the heck I'm going to do about that drain plug situation. I can't believe some knucklehead welded that thing shut. Obviously, the right thing to do is to remove the motor, completely tear down the cases, and drill it, retap it, and get it surfaced also so the new drain plug sits nicely in there. I just can't believe someone would do that. There's so many other ways to fix that other than just welding it shut. So things like the suspension, sure, we could rebuild. And so here's kind of like the conundrum I'm faced with is if we keep it in the 85 chassis, it'll always ride like a 1985. Let's be serious, right? If we put it into the 2008 CR500 AF chassis that we have, the one that was done by Tom Parachu, it's a super well done AF. I really think that would be the best use of the engine is putting it into a modern chassis. That's kind of where my heart is. But at the same time, I really want to see the 1985 be restored. So maybe, like I was saying, I'll do that kind of in the background. And when that thing's totally badass, then we'll take that 85 motor back out and throw it into the rolling chassis, and then we'll have a complete 85. So that's kind of where my feeling is anyway. Big Bore Addicts Sand Mountain 24 race is just around the corner. Again, guys, if you're not joined up for that, make sure you go onto the Facebook group, look for Big Bore Addicts, join the group. If you go into the events, you will see on the calendar for SM24, and then you just mark going. I would really love to see a lot of you guys there. It's already going to be a really excellent turnout this year, so I'm really excited for that. I will be in San Francisco for the Supercross. I thought it'd be a super rad time to go there. It hasn't been in San Francisco for a long, long time. So keep an eye out for me at the San Francisco Supercross. If you guys are going to be going to that, I'll be there with my family, just kind of hanging out. Other than that, guys, just a short video today. That's all I really wanted it to be. I didn't want it to go crazy long. But I am stoked that we got this thing running and riding, and I guess you'll just have to wait and see what we do with it in next Monday's video. So stay tuned for that. I love every single one of you guys, and I will see you on the next one. That's a promise. Peace out for now. Bye-bye.